If you are tuning in from the replay, feel free to tap hearts. It's just as fun the second time around. And welcome to everyone as we're joining the room. Hey guys, welcome, welcome. I just realized I didn't put any makeup on today. It has been a busy day. That's cool. Y'all get to see the real me. Guys, Periscope dudes do not have to worry the same way that Periscope ladies do. So, welcome everyone. Pop in the chat. Say hi. Let me know your name, especially if you're new. I like to say hello. Let me know what you're writing. I love to know what you're writing. And if you want to catch the replay and the transcripts, you can always go to paperravenbooks.com/Periscope. It's where the party continues. Because this is a party. Hey, Joanne. Jessica just hopped in the room. Welcome, guys. Okay, so thanks for those hearts. So if you like what we're talking about, tap those hearts. If you know a writer friend who wants to prioritize writing and is not prioritizing writing, then share. You can share, swipe and share on Facebook, Twitter, and Periscope. Hello, writing friend. Hello, John. And if you're not already following me, hit Perry Dude down there. Change the plus to a check. It'll let you know when I'm live. And if you can't catch me right then, you can catch the replay. Okay, thanks guys. So I have been doing free strategy sessions for the last couple weeks, and I've done like 20 or 30. Like, I feel like I'm on the phone a lot lately. Usually I'm on the phone just, Perry Dude, he is cool. Usually I'm on the phone with just like a couple of writing coaching clients a week, but I've been like on the phone talking about writing a lot, which is really fun. And I've started to notice some patterns. Thanks for those hearts, guys. Hello, P. Ravine. Have I seen you in here before? Possibly. What's your name? Praveen. Sorry about that. I've noticed some patterns among you guys. Okay, so the conversations have usually, this is your book strategy sessions. Oh wait, rewind. Who am I? I'm Morgan Gist McDonald. I'm a writing coach, editor, and author. I help people like you who want to write a book and don't know where to start. And I walk you and writers through the process of writing a book from vague idea to first draft to finished manuscript. And I work with a team of amazing, stellar editors who help bring rough first drafts into publishable, high-quality books that you are proud to sell. So I do one-on-one coaching, and I work with a team of some of the best editors in the industry. Okay. Cleaning is not important. Right. Writing comes first. Okay, so Joanne and I are going to get in a fight. All right, so I've been having these free strategy sessions where I talk to people about their book, and we usually start with sort of like the vision of the book and flying around the world on Periscope. That would be cool. The vision of the book and how it sort of could help their life and their business and their platform. And then we get into more of the nitty-gritty. Thanks for sharing on Twitter. Appreciate that. We get into the nitty-gritty and we start to talk about things like, well, why have you not written the book yet? What obstacles do you feel like you're facing? And it starts to get a little bit more of that like discomfort, like what's really going on with your writing. And then there's always the important question of how many hours a week are you writing? And there's usually a little bit of a silence because chances are you're not writing a lot. Maybe not at all during the week. And it's an uncomfortable realization to come to. And I have had the same moment. And then I usually encourage people in my typical Texas way to have a little bit of a come to Jesus moment and really say to yourself, if your book is important to you, how are you making space for it? How are you making room for it? How are you making time for it in your schedule? And this needs to be a really intentional practice. So even if you're not great at planning, even if you're not great at goal setting, like it's okay. You don't have to plan your entire life. I'm not asking you to plan your entire life. I'm just asking you to plan about 2 or 3 hours of writing time per week. Okay, so I don't care if you have a calendar. I don't care if you have your kids' activities organized or your meal plans planned out, whatever. Like the rest of your life can remain completely disorganized, and that's cool. But you need to have a really clear idea of exactly when you're going to do your writing. So maybe that is first thing in the morning. Maybe that is during lunchtime. Maybe that is in the evening after dinner instead of watching TV. That's the trick. So I don't want you to feel overwhelmed and think, oh my gosh, I need a calendar and I have to color code everything and blah, blah, blah. You don't. You just need, at the beginning of each week, you need to say, okay, I know that this week I'm going to be writing on Monday morning and Tuesday morning and Wednesday afternoon. Whatever. I mean, it doesn't really matter when it happens, so long as you have a chunk of time. All right, and then the other common pattern that I've seen is people getting really ambitious. Just as that would be cool if only I was that organized. You don't have to be that organized. You just have to be intentional about your writing time. If your book is truly a priority, then you'll make time for it. So the other pattern I'm seeing is people get really ambitious and they're like, I'm writing a book, so I need to write like an hour every day. So they say, okay, my intention is to get up at 5 a.m. every day and write for a full hour. And then the first day comes along, 5 a.m., they hit the snooze button. And they're like, dang it, I didn't write. You know, it's 5:30 and they're like, I'm still in bed. Obviously, I'm not gonna get my hour of writing done, and then just like give up. So building up this pressure of wanting to write for a full hour actually gives you a way out. So if you miss the first 15 minutes of your hour of writing, you're like, I'm not gonna do it at all. So instead, what I would suggest is that you do small chunks of time so that you can be successful at them. So that means plan to write for, I know what's going on in your head, I do. Only take short time each day and then write for hours. There you go. I love that, Joanne. Okay, so plan to write for 15 minutes. And then when you do write for the 15 minutes, you're like, success, I did it. Hey, Sean's in the room. So you're then perpetuating this feeling of success, this feeling of momentum, right? And so aim for smaller chunks of time. And you know what? Even if it's 3 times a week. If you write for 15 minutes 3 times a week, that's a lot more than none. Okay, so to kind of recap, some people have come in the room. To recap, in the string of amazing strategy sessions I've been doing, I've noticed some patterns in people who are trying to write their books, and the same sort of conversation keeps happening over and over again, so I thought you guys would benefit. Yes, Jess says, my challenge is make myself stop and go to bed. Well, that's a good thing to be in the habit of doing. It's like, I can't stop writing. I like to hear that. Okay, so a couple of patterns I've noticed pretty much through everybody is we get on the phone, talk about their book, and then we get to the uncomfortable question of how much are you writing? Answer is usually none. Totally fine. But that means that you need to schedule out some time. Like even if the rest of your life is not organized, intentionally at the beginning of each week, set aside some time. It's usually either first thing in the morning, at lunchtime, or late at night. That's universal. Those are pretty much the options. Some people try just for the weekends, but that's less successful overall. Second thing is people tend to get really ambitious and be like, I'm gonna write for a full hour. And then if they don't write for an hour, they feel terrible about themselves and they just don't try to write at all. Instead, write in small chunks. Start with 10, 15 minutes. I think 25 minutes is a sweet spot. 25 minutes is long enough to get some good progress growing, but it's not quite half an hour, so it feels really doable. And it's what the Pomodoro productivity folks recommend, so I like them. Just as I speak faster than I write. Do you ever use a dictation type of program? I use Siri on my iPhone all the time for texting and sometimes writing emails. That is an interesting question. We speak differently than we write. So I would be a little bit, I know some people think that you can just dictate an entire book and then clean up the grammar and publish it. I don't know that that's as successful way to write a book. What you might do instead is take voice recordings of like talk through a chapter and then play back that recording sort of when you have some time to sit and think and then start writing. It's not faster, but I think it would capture your slew of ideas and still let them be in a nice like writing flow. take thinking notes while you speak. Yeah, exactly. So probably maybe part of the problem is that you've got so many ideas that are trying to like rush out like a floodgate, and you can't write that fast. And so maybe instead just talk them out, and then you replay them when you're going in to write. Okay, there was one more thing. One more pattern that I had noticed in all of these strategy sessions. Oh yes. So a lot of people think that they work really well at night. Okay, Jess, you might be the exception to this. So I'm just going to caveat there. Jessica might be an exception to this. There are exceptions to this. But a lot of people say, oh, well, I work best at night, and so I'm going to work after dinner, which is a fine idea. Or you think a lot when washing dishes. Yeah, exactly. So leave your recorder next to you. That's a great idea. They say, I think I work really well at night, and so I want to save all my writing for nighttime. And that's fine in theory, but here's what happens in practice. Is you think you write well at night because your entire life has been about procrastination, and so even from your school days, I was like this too. Even from your school days, you probably put off all your homework and all your test prep and all of your essay writing until the last minute, which was late at night. And so you got into this pattern of thinking that you're really good at working late at night. What might be happening is you're just a huge procrastinator, and so you had to do all your work late at night. Yeah, okay, so Jessica, I am totally letting you be an exception to this rule, because sometimes there are circumstances in life, and at nighttime is when it just has to happen. I mean, famous authors have certainly done that too. But if you are attesting to be someone who works well late at night and you're still not getting the writing done, that is when you need to have kind of a moment where you're like, okay, do I actually work better at night, or do I just procrastinate everything and so everything gets done late at night? So if you are finding that you're not getting the writing done late at night, try getting up super early, like crazy early, like way earlier than you would normally ever think about getting up. 4:30 a.m. is a really good place to start. Get up at this crazy hour that is so off your normal rhythm that it like jogs you out of your regularity, if that kind of makes sense. And so you're up at this bizarre hour and you're like, what am I doing? And there's nothing else to do but write. Jess, you're on Periscope right now, just saying. No, that's fine. I know that, I mean, I listen to Periscope when I'm doing other stuff too, so I'm not judging. I don't judge you for being on Periscope. I do it too. So get up at some crazy hour in the morning to write. Just try it, just for like a week, and you might actually like it. And there's something really like intensely sacrificial about getting up at a crazy hour in the morning. You're like, I am hardcore. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna write my book, and it almost the bizarreness of the act like recommits you to writing the book. It's like, if I'm willing to do this for my book, I'm gonna make it happen. So just an idea, just to throw out there. All right, so circling back around to the original question, is your writing really a priority? You can pretty much measure that by the number of hours that you spend writing per week. So if you are currently spending 0 hours writing per week, I would challenge you to increase that at least to 1 hour per week. And then increase from there. So if you are seriously writing a book and you want to finish it by a certain time frame, start implementing some of this stuff. I'd rather run away to an island. No, writing a book is not that bad. It is not that bad, Joanne. If you buckle down and just really do it, it's not going to take more than a couple months. Like, you've probably spent years agonizing. Oh, to write. Oh, wouldn't that be fantastic? Yeah, never going to happen. I wish. Those people who get to go on like writing retreats and stuff, I'm like, that would be awesome. I don't know when that's ever going to happen. But yeah, so if you think that if you want writing to be a priority, look at your calendar, have a come to Jesus moment. Is it really a priority? Are you spending 0 hours writing? If it's 0, it's totally fine. Increase it to at least 1. When you are ready to commit to the book and you want it done within a certain time frame, start scheduling out those writing sessions. But don't start with an hour. Start with 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes. I like 25, but you might have to work your way up. And if you really cannot make traction and you think that you're a good writer at night, but it's really just because you're procrastinating, try getting up at some crazy balls hour, like 4:30 in the morning. Just give it a shot. See if it shakes you out of your routine enough to get some writing done. Just as I'm writing more and journaling other stuff I'm going through. So if other minute, I tell my kids. Yes, so I love journaling. I have to write a minute before I forget. Yeah, I love journaling too. It's really helpful just like to go through all the thought process and emotions and stuff. So I do journal, but I don't want the journaling to distract you from your book either. It's tough. It's a lot of writing to do. Lots of writing. It's good though. All right, guys, that's your scope inspiration. Go do some writing. I will talk to y'all soon. paperravenbooks.com. All right, talk to y'all tomorrow. Bye.